Hello world, Justin Tucker once again here, moving forward with our Drupal 7 convention and membership tutorial. Again, this is a e-commerce platform developed in Drupal 7 to try and execute some rather unique purchasing scenarios when it comes to ticket and event registration, and mixing those in with other products that are more considered normal, I guess. So in this tutorial, I think what we're going to be covering is now getting into the actual display of things. So if we go back to our working example here of this annual conference, we left off with this incredibly ugly page that's not laid out at all. We kind of started with this view that shows all the content organized by type, and we essentially broke each one of these out into their own particular view displays that we can move and manipulate together. So what I had briefly mentioned in another video is kind of how I like to do views now anyway, is instead of bringing in all the fields that I want and trying to manipulate it through format options and or CSS to where the result is what I want, I typically like to say, well, this is a bad example. Yeah, here we go. Show, instead of fields, show content, and then views will ask you what content display do you want to use for this result here in this view. And again, this drop down list here corresponds to, if we go into the manage display of any content type, under custom display settings, this list here corresponds to this list. And in here I've only got the teaser activated for, let's see, I grabbed hotel and lodging. So what we're going to be doing is working in this area. And again, the nice thing about this is you can tell the view, hey, use this view display, whatever it happens to be, and then save your view, and hopefully you can be done with the view, or at the very least, what it spares you from is having to do a lot of work within the view to also control not only the query that comes through, but how it lays out. So in this example, I'm not going to use the layout tools that Views has. I'm going to use the layout tools that Drupal has. Now, another module I've got in here is called Display Suite and Panels Extra Layout, which gives me these options here. Now I like the panels, or the panels options from the Panels Extra Layout module, because these are all responsive by default. So we'll choose Sutro. That's a good, header, footer, left, right kind of an idea. And what we'll be doing is going into each of these content types and making considerations as to the different types of layout that we think we'll want. Let me go ahead and save this. Once you do this, you'll notice now that in the Manage Display tab, it gives you these different areas: header, first column, second column, footer. Obviously that corresponds with header, first column, second column, footer. And these elements are the fields, and these are the disabled elements. You'll notice when you activate Display Suite, it actually extends more elements for you that are properties of the node itself, like the actual title, the author, post date, stuff like that. So for the default display of hotel and lodging, well, actually let's do the teaser display. I'm not sure if this is the end direction I'm going to be happy going, but we'll do it at least for the purpose of the video here. So same steps, I just applied this idea of the layout called Sutro to the teaser display and also to the default display. So here I'm going to tell, I don't know, the header to be, the body to be in the footer area. I'm going to tell the contact number to be in the second column, the URL to be in the second column. Maybe registered event in the header. The title we'll say in the header. The address we'll put in the second column, and I think we have an image field. Yeah, we'll put that in the first column. So this is on teaser. So let's kind of see what this looks like. And if I get back to my convention, I think I still need to create a view actually for hotel and lodging. I just thought I was done. So let me go do that. I can kind of should be able to dive into this view here, which should get me to all those displays. Oh, yep, I was making some changes here in another screen. Let me just delete those. Oh no, here's lodging information. Well, okay, am I just not... Could be I'm just not seeing it. Happens all the time. Yeah. Ah, here it is. So what I'll do is I'll go into the edit view. So this is this is terribly ugly. This is where the information for the hotel and lodging for this event actually pulled in, and I can go directly into this view. I was actually just there, and I'll put in the contextual filter it needs, and here we go. So you'll notice again, if I go back to hotel and lodging, manage display teaser, I've got this idea of the title and the referenced registration event should be at the top. So actually on teaser, I'm going to make this go away. Region disabled. I'll leave the title, so we should have a title on top, an image on the left, the URL, contact number, and address on the right, and then a description underneath. And we'll go ahead and make the title linkable, just in case, for whatever reason, someone wants to click and see the full post, for example. So what I have to do here is, instead of saying full content, I'm going to say use the teaser. Which looks like that, and then there's the teaser. So it looks like if it would help if I could give it an image, of course. So let me do that real fast. Let's go ahead and get some text for ourselves. Pretend this is the description for them. Let's go ahead and resave this. And again, this is the default display, which would be controlled by right here. So this is why it kind of shows in this weird order. However, right here though, on this page, we should see it want to lay out like we had it, and there we go. Title on top, image on the left, address, contact information, and URL on the right, and then the body text or descriptive text below. The picture is clearly too large. So kind of continuing on our teaser display exercise here. I also don't want the label, see the label of image, I don't want that to be above the image. I don't want that at all, so I'll hide that. And then right now we're just telling this to show the original image. Now you should always optimize your images to be the size that the area on the screen requires and nothing more. I'm going to kind of ignore that rule for the purpose of this tutorial. So I'm going to make that change, and if I refresh this, I should get a little bit smaller picture, and I do. So here's how we have laid out our hotel and lodging information according to this, but declared through its own contextual view, because we're saying use the content, use the teaser version, which here it is. There's the teaser version, and here's the layout and the layout design we're using. And again, this comes to you by way of the Display Suite module and the Panels Extra Layouts module. So I think that should probably do it for this video. Again, the next coming videos are going to be a little bit redundant on doing this same thing. I'll probably do a video kind of as a tangent about image styles, because we'll want to use those here to control how images like this get cropped and turn out. Now again, if you're using the best practices and optimization guidelines, your images theoretically should always be told to show their original size, because they should be sized offsite to the exact size you need. Otherwise, that's not always needed or feasible or what have you. So either way, we're going to create some image presets that forces the issue, whether it's the correct size or not, which should enforce consistency in design and layout. And again, each section is going to kind of then undergo that treatment of what we just did here. And then once we do that, we still kind of have the overall challenge of how do we lay all this out meaningful on one page here, other than this, that's going to be meaningful to the user. So if you guys enjoy these videos, please consider subscribing. I'll make more, and if you have any thoughts, questions, or comments, please reach out. Otherwise, I'll stop that one here and see you on the next. Bye-bye.